It's Tuesday, December 10th, 2019. Last I checked, I'm still Yael Levi, and these are the Cryptosphere's top stories for today, brought to you by BLOCKTV's reporters. Huobi US shuts down abruptly, giving traders 7 weeks to withdraw their funds. Mining giant Bitmain is betting the bank on Bitcoin's price going up. And finally, a crypto-themed graffiti artist showcases a new take on a classic piece of art. Starting off, a shocker today in the sphere with yet another exchange leaving the United States. Houbi US, Huobi's US branch, has announced it is shutting down, giving crypto traders only 7 weeks to withdraw their funds. Now, the abrupt move comes just a month after the company migrated Huobi global users to its US exchange, only to send them packing yet again. Confused? As are we. So, to shed light on it all, I'm joined in studio by Usher Westrup-Evans, senior BLOCKTV correspondent. Usher, what happened?
Yeah, this was certainly a shocking one, but after a lackluster couple of weeks, Huobi US, Houbi US, as they're known colloquially, have decided to close shop, and by December 15th, users they'll be shut down trading, and by January 31st of 2020, they need to pull their money out, something that users will be scrambling to do. They've already suggested that if you don't have enough money in your account to withdraw, if you're below the limit, convert to some other currencies before you pull out. Whatever the answer may be, it does not look good for Huobi users, but this apparently has been in the pipeline for some time, as we heard from Danny Brown-Wolf, head of partnerships and strategy at Orbs, who had this to say.
We kind of knew it was happening in Silicon Valley on the down low. They pretty much deported over the past 6 months all the Houbi employees.
And Asher, still with me in studio. This is yet another exchange, and as we're nearing the end of 2019, that is leaving the US, isn't it?
Yes, certainly. 2019 has been a bit of a rough year, and I put together this report just earlier to help break down a little bit about how that year has played out.
Let's take a look.
The exchange market is shrinking. In 2017, the ICO bubble burst, and now, it seems in 2019, the bell tolls for crypto exchanges. As Huobi US closes its doors just weeks into trading, and after having forced customers to switch to their domestic site, we felt it time to peer back. In honor of the tightening US exchange market, let's take a look at those we've lost in 2019. Quadriga CX, January 2019. Closed due to the death of CEO. He died as sole owner of the account's private keys. Binance, June 2019. Binance formally closed its doors to US customers in June and was resurrected as Binance US in September, a much smaller offshoot of the main brand. Poloniex US, November 2019. Poloniex chose to focus on the international market and closed shop to all US customers on November 1st. DX.Exchange, November 2019. November 3rd, much hyped Nasdaq-backed DX.Exchange announced it was closing doors under dubious circumstances. Huobi US, December 2019. Lest we forget.
Now, moving along, mining mega company Bitmain is back in the headlines with an interesting new direction, to say the least. Wu Jihan, the newly reinstated CEO, is back at the helm of the company and made his first public appearance as such since he announced the removal of his Bitmain co-founder, Mikri Zhan. That is not the only thing he announced, and with more on the story, here's Yona Hochhauser's report.
Bitmain, the world's largest producer of Bitcoin mining equipment, saw a major upheaval last month when Jihan Wu, co-founder, returned to his role as chairman of the company and immediately forced partner and majority shareholder Mikri Zhan out of the company in an ugly coup. So ugly, in fact, that Wu promised to fire anyone who even talked to Zhan on his way out the door. The coup came after Wu and Zhan differed on their vision for the future of Bitmain. Zhan led the company away from Bitcoin mining to focus on AI chip development, which resulted in its losing its long-held firm grip on the mining market. Wu disagreed with this direction and yanked the reins away from Zhan to bring Bitmain back to its former glory as the king of Bitcoin mining. And Wu is keeping to his word. He has now essentially bet the entire business on the success of mining and the rise in the price of Bitcoin. A bet that will either see Bitmain reclaim its throne in the cryptosphere or fall to its demise.
Now, Yona Hochhauser joining us now. That's a very risky move for Bitmain. What else are they planning?
Yes, it is very risky. I mean, they are also planning an attempt at a US IPO, this coming after the failed IPO attempt in Hong Kong last year. So I guess they feel like they have to make a splashy move to kind of bum up interest. Now, Bitmain, they've pretty much have three prongs to this approach. They're pretty much betting that Bitcoin price is going to go up, and that essentially that mining will be profitable to miners. They will be covering the upfront cost of buying the miners, where essentially before miners had to pay for everything up front. Now Bitmain will be covering that cost. They also be doing what's called co-mining, where they will lend out or rent out mining equipment to the miners themselves. The miners take care of the maintenance. Bitmain will actually take care of the electricity costs associated for the mining. And lastly, they're putting put options where they will pretty much guarantee the price that the miners can sell the Bitcoin for the miners. So they are taking all this risk, and if it doesn't pull off, it seems like it's game over for Bitmain.
Thank you, Yona Hochhauser. Next up, some good news for the sphere. Milestone was reached this week when the number of Bitcoin addresses that hold any amount of Bitcoin hit an all-time high of 28.39 million, a level that eclipses last year's count of late December, which was 28.38 million. Investor Alex Thorne highlighted the trend on the sphere's Twitter feed using data provided by blockchain analytics firm Coinmetrics, and BLOCKTV's contributor and the man behind Long Read Sunday, Nathaniel Whittemore, explains this milestone best.
The number of total addresses holding Bitcoin is now at an all-time high, which was previously reached in January of 2018. And he actually does a bunch of work using Coinmetrics data to show why, he effectively, he acknowledges that this is an imprecise metric because lots and lots of holdings are effectively mingled in the holdings accounts of exchanges if people are just leaving their money on exchanges. But still, even with that, that's more likely to underestimate than overestimate anything. So it's a really positive signal.
And moving on, moving on to Ledger X, where there seems to be no shortage of drama. Co-founders Paul and Jyotika Chow have been placed on administrative leave by the board of directors of the Bitcoin derivatives company. Larry Thompson has been installed as interim chief executive officer, and Yona Hochhauser is here with us in studio with all the details. So Yona, what can you tell us about this entire drama?
Right, so like you said, Ledger X CEO and COO Paul and Jyotika Chow had been placed on administrative leave, the company announced on Monday. Now, no official reason has been given, but all signs point to how CEO Paul handled the company's physically settled Bitcoin futures debacle back with the CFTC in August. Now, for those who don't remember, Ledger X prematurely announced it had launched the first physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts in the US. Then the CFTC had quickly announced, no, we did not approve this. And then Paul reacted badly to the rejection, to say the least. He started cursing all over Twitter in a tantrum, telling the government to do their fucking jobs, and the CFTC broke the law and that he will sue them. Now, many of those tweets have since been deleted, but Ledger X has seemingly decided to go with the more stable 30-year Wall Street veteran Larry E. Thompson, whose wildest tweet was probably a cat playing a piano.
Yeah, thank you, Jonah, for shedding light on that one. Now, wallets, volatility, mass adoption are the main themes crypto fans like to discuss, but maybe the sphere should focus more on other genres to get the word out, namely art. And speaking of art, a new prominent artist is on the block, Pascal Bullyard. He caught our own Zachy Hennessy's eye. Here's his report.
One of the most fascinating aspects of cryptocurrency is that it has a way of inspiring not only economics junkies and traders, but also artists. Many artists have been bitten by the crypto bug, like Crypto Graffiti, who started creating crypto art to bring the idea to a fresh audience.
I knew that it was here to stay, kind of by design, and that it would need art to help catch on.
Another prevalent artist in the space, Brecky Von Bitcoin, cites the significant overlap between his talent and his huge interest in Bitcoin as his inspiration.
I decided that, what better way to kind of combine my passions than, to make artwork that kind of pushes Bitcoin forward.
One artist who's been making waves this year is Pascal Bullyard, who came into the public crypto art scene by making his murals on Reddit, pointing out that he tags each of his works with a QR code linked to his Bitcoin wallet. Most recently, Bullyard published an impressive video highlighting his latest piece, a fresco painted on the roof of a former gold foundry. Cryptocurrency has inspired many artists to pick up their brushes, and who knows, maybe art is the key to bringing crypto to the masses after all. Zachy Hennessy, BLOCKTV.
And we finish up with today's troll of the day. Zachy Hennessy, lucky girl that I am, is with me. And he's here with a gem from CZ, the Binance strongman, and Sphere legend, who made a claim that can only be described as, how should we put it, interesting. But Zachy will explain.
That's right. So in reference to another tweet applauding him for sticking up for a dev team that was under fire, CZ made this claim. He says, "I understood the tweet will draw some fire our way, but felt it has to be done. While we never attack others, we often help play defense, rather. Not the most volunteered position to be in, but the pain will be worth it in long term." Now, this is, he's really just truly a martyr. He's a paragon of integrity and virtue. It is funny, though, because as I recall, just last month,
Thank you.
CZ tweeted, "No police, no raid, no office. Hope you didn't pay to read that FUD block." Now, I'm no expert, but I would say that a CEO of an industry-leading company singling out and accusing an entire news site of being based on fear, uncertainty, and doubt is kind of an attack. And not to mention that he also floated the idea of putting together an anti-FUD force to presumably take down media sites who say the wrong things. It's a little bit attacky.
Slightly.
But, maybe that's just me.
Not just you, Zachy, and thank you for shedding light on that. Of course, that was it for us and Around the Block for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to BLOCKTV for more cryptocurrency and blockchain news.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.